Welcome again to Automotivated. This is part two of our conversation with Joe Marconi, who shares bits and pieces of his 41 years of experience in the field. We finished talking about teams in the last episode. We're going to kind of pick up with teams and training at this point. With the team that you're talking about here now, what about education? What about training? Is that part of what should be part of building your team too?
If you're not growing your business is dying. I'm telling you right now, training is a major component in this success formula. If you're not looking for asking your employees, looking out for their interests, seeing what's important to them, and include that training component, you're not going to have a shop in the future. The right people, the superstars that we really need to surround ourselves with, they're not looking for just a job. They want an opportunity and they want to grow within your company. If you're not providing a pathway that includes where they're going in life, which is training and education, that's a big component, then you're going to lose them eventually. If they don't feel that they're not getting what they need to grow from training, especially, then they're not going to stay with you. If there's no vision, if there's no mission, if they don't see a purpose in working with you, then what's the sense of staying? So the training component is probably up there at the top of what's important to a superstar, at least to a superstar. I always get this question asked to me, for clients when I do some training events. I can't get business management I'm talking about. I can't get my employees to go to train. I can't get my employees. Well, you have to ask yourself, what's the culture of the company, number one? And do you have the right people working for you? Because if it's the wrong person, they're going to want to do training. And I'm not saying on a Wednesday night when it's 0 degrees, I have to travel an hour and a half for a session from 7 o'clock at night to 11 o'clock at night. That's a little questionable. That's a lot to ask. I've done that. I know it. But I'm talking about the attitude and culture of a company. If it doesn't have people in the company that want to train, it has to be within them. You can't force anybody to go to training. And you shouldn't. So it all starts with having the right people in place.
And that seems to be the key. And right now, with the situation of just getting people to work for you, that's got to be really difficult.
Well, it is. It really is. But you know what? The technician shortage is here, but JB, we've been around the block a few times. It's been here for a long time. Mm-hmm. And this is what's happening now is the result of not just the past few years, not from COVID. It's been coming on for decades. Yes. And it's been a problem for a long time. We can spend a whole 3 or 4 podcasts on talking about what happened in the past, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, let's make sure we're doing the right things now. And more importantly, the workers that you have right now, the employees, the people that work with you, let's take care of them. We don't want to lose them. So let's take care of them too right now. And I think that's what's, it's important to recruit and get more people. And I speak to everybody, and just about everybody's looking for somebody. I mean, in any position in the company. But we can't forget about the people that we have right now. Let's do a really good job at building the workplace right now that attracts and retains quality people. We do that, and we got some of those bases covered for the future. But there's a lot more to go with that.
That's so true. I mean, you have people that are working for you, and you did mention they have to have the attitude that you want them to have and things of that sort. But if they don't have it, is it possible that you can create that by starting interacting with them, starting to show them that they're part of your team and making them move forward? Because if you have people that you already have in-house, you already know who they are. And there's going to be some people we know that you're never going to be able to fix or change, but there might be other ones that you just need to give that little bit of a nudge to get them to start doing what you want them to do. And that also kind of goes back to the owner-manager not being a manager, but maybe a team player, or what's that term? Don't be a leader, but you know what I'm saying? Transition from a boss to a leader. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah. I believe anyone can be a boss. A boss is someone that just takes a position, takes a task, and tells people what to do. You do this, do that, bring that car in, set it up, do the oil change. That anybody can do that. I can train anybody to do that. But to be a leader is different. To be a leader, means that you want people not just to buy into what you're saying. You want people to believe in what you're saying. You have to explain the why. You have to be more interested in what they're doing, their concerns. You have to reach out to them, mentor them, coach them. That's being a leader. And you're right about that. There may be people in your company right now that's maybe looking over the fence for potential greener grass because they don't know what their future. They don't know where their future is, and they're kind of like, they're wandering. Actually, you see, the to your point, what happens in the human brain is that if we don't know all that's going on, we tend to fill it with negative stuff. It's like when you have a problem, you feel a pain in your side. Before you get the actual news from your doctor, you're dying. It's something really serious, right? And most of the times, thank God, it's not anything really serious. Well, people in your organization, your company, the same way. A leader has to explain the why. A leader has to communicate. There has to be a purpose why we come to work every day. But if you can tap into the reasons why that employee comes to work every day, then you have a powerful strategy. So leaders and bosses, their skills intertwine. That you have to combine those skills. But a leader is more about understanding people, understanding the needs and wants of others, and then setting up an environment that really is conducive to fun, number one, to teamwork, camaraderie. And it's just that sharing of ideas and intellect and knowledge and it makes a big difference in terms of retention, workplace morale, and all that adds to the bottom line. You'll be more productive. You can't force people to produce more hours. You just have to do it. More sales, more production hours. It has to be a concerted effort from everyone, but it has to start with the leader.
You could probably kind of bottle that up and say, treat your employees like human beings.
Yeah.
Because I think once you do that and you lean over backwards for them, they'll be more apt to do that for you. And that's been my experience. So let's transition away from that, because you've got a lot of great ideas that you've shared with people, but now we have to measure it. We have to have goals. And that's one of the things that I find a lot of shops don't do, is they don't look at reports, or they don't say we're going to hit it by this date or whatever it is. What can you say to that?
If you're a shop owner, well, first, let me back up a second. Everyone listening today, I don't care what position, you must have goals. Goals give you direction. Goals give you a pathway. As you accomplish those goals, especially the short-term goals, that give you a sense of accomplishment. They give you like this feeling of, I did it. I overcame something. I did it. That gives you the confidence and the motivation to move on, to keep going with this. For shop owner, it is critical. You need to know where you're going 6 months from now, 3 days from now, 6 years from now, 60 years from now, depending on how old you are and what position you are in your business career. You need to know everything about your business. You need to have everything set in place. It has to be written too. Once it's written, it's memorialized on paper or on a Word document or something. But you need to have deadlines, goals, and you have to work toward them. And because as you accomplish them, which is again a team effort, the team has confidence in knowing that you are going somewhere. People don't want to be led by someone who they feel has no future because they have no goals. Mm-hmm. So goals are critical. But it even breaks down even more than that. What is as a shop owner now? I'm going to ask you, what does your life look like in 5 years and 10 years? When do you plan on retiring? Is it 5 years from now? Well, how do your financials look? How does your life look? How much do you need to live on? How much does your family need to live on? What's your shop worth? Do you know how to calculate that or kind of estimate a valuation of your company? These are things you must sit down with right now and start planning out. It's all part of goal setting. It is critical to your success, and it's a big responsibility. And as a shop owner, I would say it's up there in the top 3 things you should be doing, no matter what stage of the game you are. Sometimes, like you said, we're too busy. We're in the shop, we're in talking to customers, talking to the insurance guy, a troubled employee, whatever it is. We're road testing a car. We don't spend time, but when you spend time putting out fires all day, you can't see the big picture. You can't. You can't. And that is so stressful that brings on anxiety and stress and eventual burnout. You got to sit down in your office, quiet time, nobody's bothering you. But go off site if you have to and start thinking about the future and what are your goals and start putting them down on paper. The more you work on things that have an impact down the road, the stronger your life will become and the stronger your business will become. Goal setting is that component that just it brings everything together.
Quiet time, getting away from the rush of the day and sitting down and thinking about the future. That makes a lot of sense, Joe. This is the end of part 2 of Automotivated, where we talk to Joe Marconi, and he shares his 41 years of experience with you so that you too can succeed. Look for episode 3 of Automotivated when we speak to Joe Marconi shortly.